Hello, everybody. We are brought to you today by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/JKWD. Get yourself a free audiobook when you sign up for a free month membership. May I recommend just about anything by Malcolm Gladwell. Man, that guy has a voice on him. And he's smart too, so you get the great content. Try The Tipping Point, or What the Dog Saw, or Outliers, or basically anything he's ever written. Let him read it to you, because it's awesome. Again, go to audibletrial.com/JKWD. That's audibletrial.com/JKWD. Get a free audiobook. Get a free month when you sign up today. We're also brought to you by BarkBox. I know we're excited to get our new BarkBox tomorrow, assuming that they drive through the St. Patrick's Day traffic to get to us. So we're far enough out that I think they will deliver over here. Rufus is excited because that means new treats, new toys, and sometimes they throw in a new little dog utility thing like biodegradable poop bags or scoops and that kind of stuff. Go over to joshhere.com, click on the show notes for this episode 49. Get a free month at BarkBox when you sign up today. And now I suppose we can go off and do the show. Oh, hello there and happy Thursday. How are you doing today? It is March 16th, 2017, which means tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. And that means a whole lot of fun here in Savannah. We're going to talk about that in a sec, because this is a St. Patrick's Day episode. Yeah. So here's the deal with St. Patrick's Day in Savannah. We get close to 500,000 people in our little city of 100,000. And, man, they've already closed off a lot of the streets. And, man, it's madness and mayhem down there, and I've gone down the last couple of years, and I'll probably skip the festival this year, but we already have lunch plans here midtown, and excited about that. All the fountains are green. They did that last week. It's a little disconcerting because that's water and it's supposed to be water, but hey, it's all fun. So I decided that I don't know much about St. Patrick's Day and St. Patrick, so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, what we're doing, you might know from listening a few episodes ago that I've been on the slow carb diet for a month, 12 pounds in 4 weeks, doing awesome. Normally Thursday is my cheat day, but I made it Friday instead so that I could go enjoy myself, have a couple of beers on St. Patrick's Day, and burger over. We're gonna go see our friends over at Ben's Neighborhood Bar and Grill. So if you're ever Midtown Savannah, go see them. We enjoy going over there for lunch, and an occasional dinner, and $2.50 Tuesday, $2.50 for cans. All day Tuesday. Wow, they're not even a sponsor. Maybe I should go play this for them tomorrow before we sit down to eat. So who's St. Patrick? It was the patron saint of Ireland because there's all this Irish stuff. But what's with the celebration, and who was he? So St. Patrick was born roughly in 385 and lived to 461 of the Common Era, or AD, as it were, obviously, because we weren't making saints before there was Christianity. It's just kind of how that goes. He was born in Britain, was kidnapped, worked as a slave for 6 years in Ireland, escaped, got back to Britain, and went into the clergy. And eventually he wound up as a bishop back in Ireland. Now he's said to have done a few things. Because you need miracles, right, to be a saint, to become a saint. Although canonizations, when for the first millennium or so of Christianity, were done locally. So it wasn't the Pope canonizing saints; it was kind of just the local council. So a lot of our saints date back to then because there was more local control, and we favor our local folks, right? So one of the miracles that St. Patrick is presumed to have done includes he used to walk with an ash wood stick, walking stick, and he would just stick it in the ground when he was giving sermons. And one sermon is said to have been so long that the stick, his walking stick, took root and turned into a live ash tree. St. Patrick is also presumed to have chased all the snakes out of Ireland because there haven't been snakes there in a long time. Well, there's really no evidence that there were ever snakes once the Ice Ages passed, but hey, you know what? Why not? St. Patrick chased all the snakes out of Ireland. So why the shamrock? Why the shamrock? Shamrock is not a four-leaf clover, it's a three-leaf clover. So if you're getting costumes with four-leaf clovers, you're getting the wrong thing. You can tell the people who make them to smarten up. The shamrock, having three leaves, was used to explain the Trinity. There were shamrocks everywhere. And so it was an easily recognizable symbol, and he was able to teach the pagans about the Trinity. And the Jew is not going to try to explain the Trinity on a podcast, because I know that there are people listening who can explain that a whole lot better. So why March 17th? Well, this is the day that we believe St. Patrick died, and of course, since he died in 461 or thereabouts, it could have been a couple of days off. We didn't really keep great records then, and a lot of those records have been lost in floods and fires and basements. The fact that we know anything that happened 1,600 years ago is pretty gosh darn impressive, I would say. So we know that St. Patrick's Day as a feast day starts in the early 17th century, early 1600s. First celebrations in the U.S., of course, are in Boston. So that's where the Irish come across to settle. It's also one of the first cities anyway. Savannah, here we claim to have the second biggest St. Patrick's Day festival in the country, and there's probably a bunch of cities that could argue for that, but I'm sure it's Savannah, Boston, Chicago, and New York, since those are large Irish communities. But the one thing that Savannah has that those other cities don't is a tiny little population. So the fact that we cram 500,000 people downtown and make a whole lot of money on it and turn all our fountains green is amazing. This is Well, in a lot of cities, St. Patrick's Day is the only time of year you can walk around downtown for a couple of blocks with a beer in your hand. St. Patrick's is the only time during the year when you have to pay to do that in Savannah. You can just do it the rest of the year. Yeah, that's right. If you haven't been here, you haven't seen our we call it a to-go cup policy, but really it's an open container law. But if it's a beautiful day and you want to see the squares and just kind of sit around, you can just walk into a bar and say, "Hey, can I have a beer to go?" And that sounds weird to a lot of people, but that's how it goes. Yeah, if you've been in New Orleans, you know the same thing. We have a bit more of a restriction than they do here. You have to have like a clear plastic cup and it can only be 16 ounces and all that stuff. New Orleans, you can just go bring a bottle and of booze and pour it yourself. Can't do that here. They also don't let you just open a new can on the street. You have to go buy it at a local establishment, which I'm sure is very helpful to them. But let's go back. Why green? Green is associated with Ireland because in about 1641, 1642, the Irish Catholics create their first flag, and it's got a green shamrock on it. And that's why green on St. Patrick's Day. Hey, what else is going on? Yeah, I didn't really want to talk about news this week. There's just a lot of political it doesn't matter happening right now. We're running up against the debt ceiling as I speak, but you know, usually that gets extended when it needs to get extended so that we can pay whatever we need to pay. And they've lined up months of emergency contingencies, like stopping the sale of treasury bonds and that kind of stuff, since that's considered debt. And supposedly we can run on that all the way into the fall. So, there's that. There's the G20 summit this weekend. I'm sure that Steve Mnuchin will get a lovely reception there. Not the sarcasm, but I'm not gonna make any predictions really as to what's gonna go down or what could go down. And yeah, I don't know. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have an awesome week, and thank you so much for being here. Like if you like the show, I would really appreciate you rating, reviewing on iTunes or Stitcher, wherever you get this. Tell your friends, share it around, tweet something out, and say hi to me, Josh Shear on Twitter, joshshear.com for show notes, and we will catch you. Oh, joshshear.com also links to audibletrial.com/jkwd and to a free month at BarkBox. Don't forget that stuff. I will catch you next time.